This is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us. Cold weather tonight could lead to temperatures falling below freezing.
Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti, who has an alert day for us this weekend. Gary?
I do, because temperatures are going to drop into the mid to upper 20s by early tomorrow morning, and that means a widespread freeze could be a possibility. So a freeze warning in effect from midnight tonight until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is a future track forecast for 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and you can see Madison around 27 degrees, Janesville still below freezing at 30, and the farther north and west you go, temperatures will be even colder. As far as the clouds are concerned, right now most of those are going away. What clouds there are should dissipate pretty quickly after sunset. That will allow clear skies and light winds. Those clouds even bringing some light snow to parts of northern Michigan right now. Temperatures are in the mid-40s here, but already in the 30s close to Lake Michigan. Over the next 12 hours, they'll drop to below freezing by around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and look for a low temperature tomorrow morning of about 27, but we'll warm up pretty quickly. Tomorrow, look for a high of 58 degrees, but Mother's Day, unfortunately, looks showery and chilly, and there might be some more frost chances by Sunday night. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Next at 5, right now, there are 9,688 cases confirmed in the state. That's up more than 350 from yesterday.
That includes the 72 people who tested positive for COVID-19 after attending large events since the rally at the state capitol on April 24th. There are also 386 deaths in the state. Over 4,600 people have recovered. DHS says the percentage of people who have tested positive for COVID-19 in the state has increased after 4 days of decreasing percentage of people treated for COVID-19 who had positive test results. Today, as we just said, those numbers have increased. Yesterday, just under 6% of people tested positive. Today, that increased to 8%. DHS analysis shows there has not been a significant downward trend in the past 14 days. And as you know, there needs to be a downward trend for 14 days in order for the government to reopen. Right now, only one category is showing that is being met, and that there is a downward trajectory of flu-like illnesses reported within a 14-day period. The criteria for other categories, though, is not being met.
And today, Governor Evers' administration released some guidelines for businesses as they begin the process of reopening.
Our Amanda Quintana is here with the details. Amanda.
The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation created a guidebook of advice with the help of national, state, and industry leaders, because when businesses are allowed to reopen, there will be noticeable changes. It mentions practices like continuing social distancing, wearing masks, and doing temperature checks. All of this creating a new normal for businesses. These guidelines are industry specific, including different advice for places like restaurants, hotels, and barbers.
Instead of trying to go it alone to figure out the best answers to basic questions such as how to handle transactions at cash registers, what to do about merchandise that's been handled by customers, and how to set up an office using social distancing strategies, these businesses can consult advice from industry experts and health professionals to make good decisions.
Governor Evers says the way businesses have adapted to the Safer at Home order has been a big part of the state's success in flattening the curve. He says these guidelines ensure that employees and customers feel confident enough to return to business. He says these guidelines ensure that everyone feels that they are good enough to go back to business.
All right, Amanda, thank you. While some companies are planning to continue some of these basic safety measures once they do reopen, there are others that are making some permanent changes to the workplace right now.
Our Jamie Perez explains how the office that you left in March may not be the office you come back to.
Everyone's going to have a need that their office will have to change in some way, shape, or form.
Changes are on the horizon at Madison-based architectural firm Iconica. It's what they specialize in.
This is meant for social distancing.
The work that Jim Pienka is doing at his company will change the way that you work at yours. Iconica staff are already working with offices around Madison to redesign the office space. Things like installing plexiglass in between desks, shifting and redesigning those desks to stagger the seating, creating directional signs for one-way hallways. And all of this work they can do do without any physical interaction with clients, some without even stepping foot into your building.
So this is our 3D scanner. We take this into an office environment and we move this around in different locations as represented by the green dots on the screen here, and then translate all that information into our design software. If it's exterior work that we're doing, we'll utilize our drone, each of which can convert the information into our VR virtual reality glasses.
Using this relatively new technology, they can see into your workplace and redesign everything through virtual reality software.
It allows the client to physically walk the space without actually being there.
Iconica engineer Shane Butchin has already done this for a handful of Madison businesses.
If someone called you guys today, like they could have this done in time by the time the stay-at-home order is lifted.
Oh, absolutely.
They're also looking into the option of installing these thermal cameras at kiosks. Each one can scan your temperature when you enter your building and lets you know if you're allowed to be at work. They've also been using what they call biodome to protect any hard surfaces in the office.
The bioprotectant that we can physically spray on all hard surfaces, and it'll protect that surface for up to 90 days.
By taking your ideas and creating this virtual world, soon you may just come to find it happened in your new physical world.
And I think that's something that we can help lead that charge with what we do in the design and construction of the physical space.
For News 3 Now, I'm Jamie Perez.
For Iconica to do that initial scan and design, it costs about $1,000, and then the cost of them actually going in to implement the changes would vary in cost depending on the office space and what they're doing to it.
Americans lost a record 20.5 million jobs last month. That makes April the largest single month of job losses since the Bureau of Labor Statistics started tracking it back in 1939. The unemployment rate soared to 14.7% in April. The last time American joblessness was that severe was during the Great Depression. The losses in April follow steep cutbacks in March when employers slashed 870,000 jobs. Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Treasury and IRS today announcing that nearly 130 million Americans have received those economic impact statements, payments worth more than $218 billion in less than 5 weeks. In Wisconsin, over 2.3 million people have received those payments, totaling over $4 billion. And within the last hour, the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art announced it has canceled the 62nd annual art fair on the square due to concerns over the coronavirus. That event originally was scheduled for July 11th and 12th. Past events have drawn nearly 200,000 visitors and 500 artists to the Capitol Square every summer. Event organizers say next year's event has been scheduled for July 10th and 11th.
A staff member for Vice President Mike Pence has tested positive for COVID-19. He is traveling, the vice president is, to Iowa today. The staffer who tested positive was not on that trip, but a source says there was a concern about others on the plane having been in contact with her. The news comes after a personal valet to President Trump tested positive for COVID-19 earlier this week.
6 more inmates have tested positive for COVID-19 at the Dane County Jail. In late April, the National Guard tested all inmates and staff in the jail after more than 20 inmates tested positive earlier in the month. In all, 427 inmates were tested, bringing the total number of positive cases since March to 29. 3 of those inmates have been released. 1 has recovered. 25 are in isolation. 1 other staff member tested positive, bringing the total staff who've tested positive since March to 7. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections says it has released nearly 1,600 inmates since March to help reduce the possibility of spreading the coronavirus. A corrections spokeswoman says most of the inmates released since March 2nd had been detained because they violated terms of their probation, parole, or extended supervision. 20 prisoners across 4 DOC facilities have tested positive, and 24 corrections employees have self-reported testing positive.
The chancellor at UW-Madison is expecting online learning to continue to play a big role into the fall semester. During a Wisconsin Technology Council webinar this morning, Rebecca Blank said to keep campus safe, the university is looking at potentially reducing some professors' workloads or curriculums so they can continue teaching both in person and online. She doubted that large in-person lecture classes will come back in the fall and said the university is looking at adding testing for the student body.
If you're working together in a lab, if you're in a dormitory, if you're in an athletic team, and you are gathering together regularly, we've got to be able to do regular testing.
Chancellor Blank said the university has lost around $120 million, and that's without funding cuts that she expects from the state. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll show you what other changes she's anticipating for the upcoming school year.
A medical degree class of the UW School of Medicine and Public Health graduated virtually this morning. Dean Robert Golden dressed up in full regalia, gave his address to the class of 2020 from his office over Facebook Live. Although the graduates didn't get to walk across the stage, their names were announced along with their photos during the ceremony. Graduates say they celebrated safely at home.
Really fun. We had all of our family on Zoom or on the phone, and we had some champagne, of course, and had tried to make it kind of as normal as possible. But we're really just sitting here on our couch with our cats.
It was different. It was very joyous, but I really missed being in person with all the students to celebrate. But it went very smoothly, and it was lovely to see their pictures and hear about each of them.
Well, they have put in the work. Congrats to all. The 163 graduates of this class will be the first to begin residencies in a new era of medicine impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Congratulations to them all. The Sauk County Fair is being canceled due to COVID-19 concerns. It's one of the first county fairs in the state to announce that it will be canceled this year. The fair has been held each year since 1855 and was scheduled for July 6th through the 12th. Officials say they discussed doing animal shows separately and talked about monitoring people, but it just wasn't feasible. But they are looking into other options.
Next week's project is going to be looking into virtual fair and a virtual online auction, perhaps, and really looking, and we're getting some help from the UW Extension from the state level. They have put together a committee to help counties, because it's a statewide thing that we're all going to possibly run into this, and help us to navigate what a virtual fair would look like and how we could do that for our kids.
Cook says she should know by June 1st if a virtual fair is a possibility. The Agricultural Society says it will work hard to make the 2021 fair, scheduled for July 12th through the 18th, one to remember.
Wisconsin DNR warning there is a high to very high fire danger risk across the state this weekend. DNR says this weekend there are gusty winds planned, very low humidity, very little rain. That, of course, is critical for fire weather conditions. Burning remains suspended with DNR issued burn permits for debris piles, barrels, and grass or wooded areas. They are asking people not to have any campfires.
Campfires for warming or cooking are allowed, but with this dry stretch, they're really discouraged right now. So, and anything that's been burning over the last couple days, make sure that those fires are out, especially as we have these really dry, windy days.
The DNR is pre-positioning equipment for rapid response across the state. The DNR has 4 contract tanker planes and access to the Wisconsin Army National Guard Black Hawk helicopters with bucket capability.
An investigation is underway in Adams County after a man was found dead in a wildfire. The Adams County Sheriff's Office received a report of a wildfire in the 1700 block of 3rd Avenue in the town of Richfield. Officials found 73-year-old Robert Hoffman of Coloma dead. The cause of death is under investigation and autopsy results are pending.
House fire in Sun Prairie estimated to have caused over $200,000 in damage. This happened about 5:45 yesterday in the 500 block of Twin Lane Road. Firefighters say the fire was knocked down within the first 5 minutes of their arrival, but it was hard to contain due to the open plan concept of the home, as well as multiple attic spaces and some unique construction features. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Still ahead at 5, more on the arrest of 2 men involved in killing an unarmed black man in Georgia. And coming up tonight at 6, family and first responders in Waunakee wish a 108-year-old woman happy birthday. We'll have her story tonight on News 3 Now at 6. And on Wall Street, the markets end the week with a strong showing. The Dow up 455 points. The NASDAQ 142 points in the good. The S&P jumps almost 49. We'll be right back.
For almost 50 years, we've built trust within our communities by making customer delight our top priority. That trust allows us to improve lives one home at a time. During this challenging time, we want to make sure your needs are being met without stress by offering 2-for-1 windows with no interest and no payments for 1 year. So go ahead, visit us online, or call now from the comfort of home.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELTCO.
When you have depression, it can plunge you into deep, dark lows and can leave you feeling extremely sad and disinterested. Overwhelmed by bipolar depression? Ask about Vraylar. Not all types of depression should be treated the same. Vraylar effectively helps relieve all symptoms of bipolar depression with just one pill once a day. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. Metabolic changes may occur. Nausea, restlessness, and movement dysfunction are common side effects. When bipolar depression overwhelms, ask how Vraylar can help.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. And with great deals available, there's never been a better time to buy at your local dealership. To find the dealer near you, visit CubCadetDealers.com.
Staying in touch has never been more important. So US Cellular has extended its plan to waive data overage charges by 2 more months. Now through July 31st, no matter what plan you're on, you'll have the smartphone data you need and not be charged for any overages. That way, you can work from home, check the latest headlines, and stay in touch with family and friends without worrying about your bill. So even if you have to be apart, you can stay in touch. US Cellular.
Family and first responders in Waunakee wish a 108-year-old woman a happy birthday. As Wisconsin sees record-breaking unemployment claims, residents who still haven't received money are frustrated. We'll hear what the DWD is doing about it.
Wisconsin voters deserve the truth. I'm News 3 Now's Amy Reed. I'm breaking down political ads, explaining whose money is behind them and separating truth from misinformation. Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
A father and son have been arrested and charged with murder in the shooting death of an unarmed black man in Georgia. We want to warn you, the video may be graphic. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation announced the arrest of Gregory and Travis McMichael in the fatal shooting of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery. The suspects were charged with murder and aggravated assault in the killing that happened in February. The GBI is receiving backlash after not arresting the men until cell phone video was released on Tuesday, which shows the final moments of Arbery's life.
Yeah, well, I can only tell you what happened since Tuesday at 9:30 when we got involved. You know, the video was already out. We saw it. We reviewed the rest of the file, and we made the arrest.
Police say the McMichaels told them they took their guns and went after Arbery because he resembled a suspect in a series of break-ins. CBS News confirms the video was filmed by local resident William Bryan. Authorities say Bryan and the McMichaels were following Arbery, and Bryan is also now under investigation.
Police say a Stoughton man who was last seen last week is considered missing and endangered. Officers say 24-year-old Samuel Castronovo was last seen April 30th. Hasn't been in contact with family or friends in more than a week and doesn't have his prescribed medications. Police say he is known to travel long distances on foot and has no known access to a vehicle. Anyone with information on where Castronovo may be is asked to call Stoughton Police. Let's get a look at your first warned weather. One of those days where the sun saved us a little bit, Gary. Without it, it would have felt very chilly out there.
Well, yeah, temperatures today were only reaching the mid to upper 40s. Sunday will probably be similar. The thing there is that we'll also be looking at some showers too, so that'll just add to the chill. But we do have an alert day in the forecast for late tonight into tomorrow morning for widespread frost and a possible hard freeze. This is Future Track by 6:30 tomorrow morning, showing temperatures in the 20s through just about all of southern Wisconsin. Even areas that are around 30 are still going to be below freezing. Milwaukee just barely above freezing, but a freeze warning is in effect pretty much for all of southern Wisconsin. Now, as we take a look at visible cloud track, there have been some clouds that popped up during the afternoon, but these will die down pretty quickly overnight. These clouds are a little bit thicker and are producing snow. Yes, it's the 8th of May, but still some snow showers through much of the upper peninsula of Michigan into lower Michigan. That just shows how chilly this air mass is. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast. It's going to be cold tonight. Frost is likely. A hard freeze is possible just about anywhere across southern Wisconsin. Dry weather returns for tomorrow, but showers will return for Mother's Day Sunday. Some frost may develop again by Sunday night as the skies clear out. And there's even the possibility for some patchy frost Monday night and Tuesday night. But mild weather is on the way with high temperatures near 70. The problem is we'll have to wait until next weekend to see temperatures that warm. As we check out Weather Track, much of the Pacific Ocean right now pretty quiet. So that's a sign that the atmosphere is still really not in a spring mode where you start to see big storm systems. There's one fairly strong storm system up in the Gulf of Alaska, but a lot of this energy is heading up into Alaska and the western part of Canada. So just pieces of the energy will kind of come in from the northwest, and that means weather systems aren't going to have a lot of moisture with them. And because of that, we're not looking at much in the way of precipitation other than some showers on Sunday. You can see that strong north to northwesterly wind flow now pretty much in full force, bringing cold air through much of the eastern part of the country. Snow in Pennsylvania and New York, showers and thunderstorms farther to the south. The rest of the country looking pretty quiet. But on the weather map, there's a weak cold front and a low pressure system just north of the U.S.-Canadian border. That low will actually track southeast and pass just to the north of Madison as we head into Sunday. So that'll keep us warm enough to keep our precipitation in the form of rain on Sunday for the most part. But look at the temperatures right now. Below freezing in Marquette, Michigan. There's really anywhere in the Midwest where temperatures are mild. But as we look at future track, notice those northerly winds continuing tonight. Clear skies, light winds for tomorrow morning. Those temperatures will drop off very rapidly. Tomorrow we'll see plenty of sunshine, but here comes that system in from the northwest. Again, there'll be some snow on the northern edges of it. By the time it reaches us on Sunday morning, notice how that's mainly in the form of rain before it clears out Sunday night, and then we have the possibility of course some frost. So freeze warning in effect midnight until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for all of southern Wisconsin. For tonight, look for a low of 27 degrees with frost likely and a hard freeze. Tomorrow's high temperature, though, back up at 58 degrees with partly sunny skies. On future track, we start out cold tomorrow, but we're back into the upper 50s by afternoon. On Sunday, the clouds come in, and here come the showers off and on during the day on Mother's Day. Unfortunately, not a great day for Mom. But the 7 to 10-day forecast calls for temperatures to warm back into the mid to upper 50s for the middle of next week, 60s by the end of the week, and perhaps around 70 by next weekend. That's still a ways down the road, but something to look forward to.
All right, Gary, I hope you spoiled Gene on Sunday. That weather's not going to get it done.
I better think of something fast.
Well, ahead on News 3 Now at 5, how area restaurants are helping you celebrate Mother's Day this Sunday. That's after a short break. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
We've got the power.
The Power Centers of Madison. Our customer-focused sales team will help you find the right power equipment to fit your needs. Lawn and garden, tractors, zero-turns, lawn mowers, trimmers, chainsaws, commercial equipment, and more. We carry the name brands that you know and some that you need to know. As an added incentive, you can always find factory promotions at the Power Centers of Madison.
We asked real customers what they really love about Spectrum Internet and TV.
Spectrum Internet has the fastest speeds for everything I do.
There is no turning wheel. It's immediate.
Spectrum is the fastest. Bam.
Get the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance with Spectrum Internet, delivering starting speeds of 200 megabits. That's more than enough for all your devices for $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
I can't get over how much on-demand Spectrum has. I can literally watch a new movie every night.
I got all my shows, and he's got all his shows. With the Spectrum TV app, I can watch live TV anywhere. It's perfect.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go. All from $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
The fact that they don't have contracts, that says a lot about their service.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Install Spectrum services yourself. Get a self-installation kit shipped right to your home. Call 833-906-4499.
The COVID-19 crisis has hit Madison's restaurant industry hard, and they need our help. That's why News 3 Now, Channel 3000, and Madison Magazine are partnering with Kesnick's, asking you to donate to the SOS fundraiser. 100% of your financial gift will help local restaurant employees stay in their homes and provide for their families. Go to Kesnick's SOS Fund on the GoFundMe page to contribute and help us keep Madison the vibrant foodie destination we all know and love.
Mother's Day, of course, is Sunday, and although Mother's Day brunch may be a little different this year, Madison restaurants are making sure there is just a little bit of normalcy.
Local restaurants around Madison are offering options for those who want to treat mom. Many places are offering curbside pickup and take and bake options so you can treat your mom, and they're also providing cocktail kits.
We're trying to provide for those restaurants that are open for brunch and lunch as much of our regular brunch and lunch menus as possible, just so people can pick and have that choice that they're used to in the restaurant, which we do think is really important.
Madison restaurants say they've been very busy for weekend brunches, and they encourage customers to call ahead or order online so they can prepare your orders. We also have a list, by the way, of some places that are serving brunch and lunch on our website.
Now, as if small businesses don't have enough to deal with right now, the Wisconsin Better Business Bureau warning them of the top 10 scams that specifically target small businesses. That list includes things like phony invoices demanding payment for products or services never offered, charity pitches to donate funds to fraudulent charitable solicitation schemes, and also the typical things that target everyday consumers like identity theft, trying to hijack a company's name or website, and phishing scams taking a company's credit card account information through bogus emails.
The smaller businesses don't have the IT support like a larger business would. Sometimes a small business doesn't have their anti-spyware, their antivirus protections, their patches, their firewalls all up to date. So it's easier to target a small business than a larger corporation.
They encourage businesses to keep excellent records and set up specific payment authorization procedures. The BBB offers tips for small businesses to avoid falling victims to scams. Just go to bbb.org/Wisconsin and stay with us. We'll have a final check of your First Warn forecast when we return.
Spring is in the air. The birds are back. The days are warmer and spring blossoms are starting to pop. Beautiful, colorful, delicate flowers. This spring, let the outdoor living experts at the Bruce Company help you bring this season to life. Colorful plants, stylish garden art, and the latest trends in outdoor furniture. The Bruce Company has everything you need to start your spring off right. So what's your dream this spring? Find it at the Bruce Company on Parmenter Street in Middleton. Your outdoor living experts.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection remains open to serve our customers and communities during these times of uncertainty. During Safer at Home, we've got you covered for all your plumbing service needs. Call us for help. We are here for you.
Wow, that's Ensure Max Protein with high protein and 1 gram sugar.
It's a sit-up, banana, bend at the waist.
Trying. Keep it up. You'll get there.
Whoa!
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. Ensure Max Protein.
We here at Brothers Maine wanted to check in with everyone in the light of the COVID-19 epidemic. We're going to do everything we can here at our store to make sure everything's clean, disinfected, and ready for customers to come in and shop with us. Not only can we come to your house and set up the products as we normally would, but we're also going to be offering a free drop-off service in Dane and Rock County. There's nothing more important to our company than making sure that our employees and our customers are safe and healthy.
The world may be shut down, but Mother Nature won't wait. Normal wear and tear on your home won't wait either. So if you need a home improvement, we're here to help. With exclusive offers to save you money on roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and design services, all with zero down, 0% interest, and no monthly payments for 6 months. Plus free virtual consultations from the comfort and safety of your own home. Visit fryconstruction.com for exclusive money-saving offers and contact us today.
Governor Evers, you extended the lockdown for our state until May 26. Many citizens are confused by your extension, and I have a few questions to help us understand. Why did you extend the lockdown when we are far below your original projections for cases and deaths? Did you factor in the recent scientific studies that thankfully have shown the risk of death from coronavirus is substantially below what was originally feared? You were also legitimately concerned about our hospitals getting overrun. However, did you recognize that never occurred, and most hospitals are now empty? With Wisconsin heading toward 20% plus unemployment, did you consider the impact to these people's livelihoods and health? We know the risk for heart attacks, strokes, suicides, and drug overdoses all increase significantly when people are jobless or under financial stress. It would be helpful to the residents of our great state if you could explain your reasoning. Thank you.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, another White House staffer tests positive for the coronavirus as the unemployment rate surges to its highest level since the Great Depression. We'll have the latest. Plus, our interview with whistleblower Rick Bright, why he says he was removed from a key position in the pandemic response for raising concerns about hydroxychloroquine. And we go on the road to find out who the best mom in America is. And here's a hint. It just might be a tie. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Let's head to Gary for a final check of the weekend forecast.
Well, temperatures are chilly out there right now. We're at 46 in Madison, but notice near Lake Michigan, temperatures already in the upper 30s. Freeze warning in effect from midnight until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for all of southern Wisconsin, as well as most of the Midwest. Temperatures by morning, upper 20s. We'll look for temperatures to warm back up into the upper 50s for tomorrow afternoon, so actually pretty nice weather there. But as we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, chilly for Mother's Day with some rain showers, then cool for the first part of next week, but warming up at the end of the week.
All right, Susan, you're free. Have a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. I'll be back with Charlotte for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.